Okay. Okay, we're live. A good tavach. Shavua tov. A good week, everybody. Welcome. Over here. All right.
There's something to be said about honesty. It's a good thing, especially when it reveals.
That comes up. I don't know. Anyways. We are in our Hasidic discourse, Avram Zakim Baba Yomim. Avram, Abraham, became elderly, came into his days. Speaking about before he passes on. And we're speaking about a mystical concept over here that there's something about the virtue of Abraham that he came into his days. That's a greater accomplishment. It's a greater accomplishment coming into his days than even the lofty level of Atik Yomim removed from the days, a lofty divine level, and this is even greater. So, what does it mean to come into your days? So, the Rebbe asks a question. Is it necessary that you fulfill your mitzvahs every day? There is a concept of makeup. So if you didn't fulfill a mitzvah yesterday and you did two today, instead of one yesterday, one today, for example, what would be wrong with that? So Rebbe explains something very interesting. What's the whole purpose of Torah mitzvahs? Is to refine. To refine this physical world, right? And our physicality. The soul itself doesn't need refinement. Part of God. The soul comes down here to bring a refinement to the body and to this world. So that refinement comes through tzedakah, charity, that is equal to all of the mitzvahs. Because the physical body is very self-directed and just wants for itself, right? My physical body only feels my pain, can't feel your pain. My soul can be empathetic to your pain, but my body's only feeling my pain. So when you give charity, you then are doing it in order to fix the nature of the body and the animal's soul. To fix that. Again, because the nature of the body and the animal soul is very self-directed. So by giving tzedakah, you're refining that. Now, this refinement of mitzvah, which charity is, tzedakah is what we call the mitzvah, because it brings the refinement, especially if you work hard for your money and now you give some of it away. That's a great refinement. You're not being self-directed. Now, with this, we need then every single day a fulfillment of a mitzvah. Why? In other words, let's say today I don't give charity. I'll give tomorrow. I'll give double tomorrow. What's the difference? It's because since the mitzvah is done in this world, and this world, its definition is time and space. That's what defines this world. So since this world is coming to refine, the mitzvah is coming rather to refine the world, right? All mitzvahs, but here we're talking specifically the mitzvah of charity because it is the embodiment of all mitzvahs, right? Because we understand how that more is defining self-refinement. Because when you earn money, you feel it's yours. You earn money, you could use it for you. So it's very much a very, self-directed. And now you need to bring a refinement, and the refinement is not just for yourself, but for the world. But the world is defined by space and time. So when you do the mitzvah, a physical act, you're doing it in space, right? You're using something. You're using a coin. You're using money. That's a physical thing. A thing takes up space, right? So you're bringing a refinement in space. But it's not enough to bring a refinement in space. You also have to bring a refinement in time. That's why each day has its uniqueness of what you need to do to bring a refinement in the very parameter of this world, time. So we get that, if you're taking a hide of an animal and you're making from it a mezuzah, you're making it from it tefillin. So you're using the space of this world, a physical thing, right, and bring a refinement to it of the physical thing. But that's not sufficient in order to make a refinement, because that's only one half of the definition of a world. The other half is time. Hence, it's important that every day has its mitzvah, has its unique mitzvah, even if it might be the same mitzvah as yesterday and the same mitzvah as tomorrow. That way you're bringing a refinement into time. This then is what it means, Avram Zokim Baba Yomim, that Avram was elderly and he came into his days, that after Avram, he achieved the level of elderly, right? Which the idea of elderly, as we explained, is just like an elderly person. When they get elderly, right? They're a little more removed from this world, right? A little more, not as physically minded because their physicality is waning. So it means over here a removement It's a very lofty level of the divine, kind of being removed from time, if you will. But the ultimate purpose is to make a dwelling place for God in this low world. How is that accomplished? Through us, Adam, man, the ultimate in creation. And you are called Adam because Adam is what will fulfill the mission. Adam has two meanings to it. Adama, which means similar to. So Adam and is similar to the divine, right? He's similar to the divine, elevated, right? At the same time, he's created from Adama, from the earth. So he's got the highest element of him, of a heavenly creation, and he has the lowest, earth. And earth, from the four elements of creation, fire, air, are more elevated, more ethereal. And then water. Water can take different shapes. Fluid can be frozen. But earth remains. Earth, the heaviest, the lowest. And that's what we're made from, right? Adam was made from the earth. Why? Human being made from earth. Bad enough that they say we come from the monkeys. Torah says even less. Come from earth. That's the whole point. You take from the highest that you are similar to above. Adam meaning Adama, similar to the heavens, similar to the divine. We have a divine peace in us that enables us now that we can take the lowest part in us and refine it and elevate it. Right? And this, then it becomes a virtue through our divine service, Baba Yamim, that you come into your days. In other words, the divine service, there's a divine service of Zakin, elderly, right? But elderly means removed from world to lofty level, but removed. But the problem being removed is you're missing the point. Now, to have that loftiness, it's amazing. But the point is refinement of the lowest thing in us to make a dwelling place for God in this world. So therefore, even that lofty level of the elderly, which is a divine level called Atik Yomim, removed from days, meaning it's a very lofty level in the divine that's removed from the world. So that was embodied in Avram. But this is not the ultimate purpose, the ultimate completion. The ultimate completion is when he's Baba Yami, when he comes into his days, when he comes to fix the days, when he comes to every day has its value, every day has its meaning, every day you shine the light of Torah and mitzvahs in that day. Then you fulfill making a dwelling place for God in this low world. Low world meaning a world that's defined by space and time. And that every day has its uniqueness. And through that, you've fulfilled the ultimate purpose and the virtue that there is in Adam, in man. Adam, again, who has that power, uniquely is the only one who has the power, who can take from that which is beyond, Adam Elyon, is a piece of the heavens above, of the divine above, and then brings it into Adama, into the earthiness that this world is defined by. Material and physical, which is space. But when does it come to its completion? It's not enough in space, but it has to come into time. And you see with this interesting. It's easier to deal with your physical things and to sanctify them than to sanctify time. It's easier to use your phone for it's a physical thing that takes up space, to sanctify it, to take food and to sanctify it. A blessing on it, it's kosher. But to elevate time, that's a much more challenging task. It's easy to waste time. It's easy to just, as they say, kill time. In other words, to recognize that there's a place that I also have to, that what this world is defined by, and to make a dwelling place for God. That's that every day has its specialness that we have to fulfill in that day, and to use that day for it. That's what it means. He came into his days. And that concludes the Maimer. So before Avram passes, the great virtue that he had, that whatever the day called for, it was needed, he was able to give himself over entirely to fulfill it.